What's happening, everybody? John Ryan here with IGN, looking for more Voxophones, this time in the Downtown Emporia section of BioShck Infinite. Now, the first one that we're going to find is on the second level of, like, the big open combat zone right outside the bank that we find. It's up next to the volley gun. We find this lockpick door. So have Elizabeth, pick the lock, grab a volley gun if you want, and then head on inside the door and you'll find the Voxophone.
I had trapped the atom in mid-air. Colleagues called my Lutece field quantum levitation, but in fact it was nothing of the sort. Magicians levitate. My atom simply failed to fall. If an atom could be suspended indefinitely, well, why not an apple? If an apple, why not a city?
So moving on, because there's a lot of Voxophones in this section to pick up. If you go through the door that leads to the sniper square, this area right here, where there's the 4 snipers up on the roofs, and you've got the decoy in the center, you'll see that there's a shop to the right-hand side of the Harmony Lane banner. So go inside, and then in the basement, there's a few guys who are hanging out having tea or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Murder them horribly, and then there's a Voxophone tucked into one of the wine casks on the right-hand side of where they were all sitting down.
Consider this overdue recompense. Oh, wait.
Tonight, the Prophet moved against his political enemies. He preaches mercy, but 40 souls lie tonight dead in unmarked graves. If a man was ever unworthy of grace, who would be my husband? But when I was beyond redemption, he offered it anyway. How can I deny forgiveness to one who with love granted it to me?
The next one up, if we keep traveling along Harmony Lane, there's that path with the pedestrian footbridge over it just before you enter Comstock Square. If you go up onto the second level on the left-hand side facing the statue at the end, you'll find a lockpick door, which is across from the Duke and Dimwit stage review. Must be a really great show for the kids. Anyways, have Elizabeth pick the lock, and then on the inside of that building, what could there be? You guessed it, a Voxophone. You found another one. Congratulations. Anyways, yeah, it's right there.
In front of all the men, the sergeant looked at me and said, "Your family tree shelters a teepee or two, doesn't it, son?" This lie, this calumny had followed me all my life. From that day, no man truly called me comrade. It was only when I burned the teepees with the squaws inside did they take me as one of their own. Only blood can redeem blood.
And then moving on to the next Voxophone, the one that you're going to find next is actually at the base of the Lady Comstock statue next to all these pictures.
This is for the miracle child. Hello. I'm sorry your mother, Lady Comstock, is dead. I think she is altogether better than mine. Since you live there, can you tell me why the tower has been closed? People say it's poor weather, then the pox, then a haunting. If it is a secret, I promise not to tell a soul. Your pen friend, Constance.
So the next Voxophone you'll find after that is once you've defeated Lady Comstock's ghosty thing for the first time. If you head out of the Memorial Gardens and take a right, it'll lead you down this path where you'll hear, what's that? Is that Cyndi Lauper playing? Yes, it is. So you turn into this apartment and then listen to Cyndi Lauper, because it's fun, especially if you're a girl. And then on the piano at the other side of the room, you will find another Voxophone.
My dear brother, these holes in the thin air continue to pay dividends. I know not which musician you borrow your notes from, but if he has half the genius of the biologist I now observe, well, then you are to be the Mozart of Columbia.
Next up, you're going to find 3 Voxophones in the Lutece Labs, which is where you find the first tear to convince Lady Comstock not to go postal or whatever. Anyways, the first one is going to show up right after you listen to what's in the tear after you open it, and it'll show up at the base of the tear.
What did you mean before when you said Lady Comstock didn't belong here?
She's almost feral. It's like she's a reflection. I don't know.
Lady Comstock seems to believe the child is a result of some errant act of carnality between myself and her beloved prophet. I told the poor woman the truth, that the child was a product of our little contraption, but I think she found that less believable than her delusion.
And the next one that you're going to find is in her, I guess, medical room, which is to the right of where you open the first tear.
Comstock seems to have been made sterile by simple exposure to our contraption. A theory. Just as sexual reproduction can de-emphasize the traits of each parent, so goes the effect of multiple realities on our own. Your traits dissipate until they become unrecognizable or cease to exist.
And for the last one in this house, you're going to go upstairs, and then in the bedroom, to the left-hand side of the bed, you'll find it nestled between that and the end table.
Come here.
Nice.
Comstock has sabotaged our contraption. Yet, we are not dead. A theory. We are scattered amongst the possibility space. But my brother and I are together, and so I'm content. He is not. The business with the girl lies unresolved. But perhaps there is one who can finish it in our stead.
Alright, so now the next Voxophone we're going to find is in one of the secret cipher rooms. Ooh, I like that alliteration. Anyways, on your way towards the bank, we're going to make a pit stop here into Hudson's Hats. Because this is where we'll find the code book, and instead of having to go there and then come back, we're just going to grab it right now on the way. So run into Hudson's Hats and capes and other fine sundries, whatever. And then around the corner in the basement down the stairs, you'll find the code book, as well as a purse and some money and some other odds and ends that you need, whatever. She'll have money because that's what she likes to do. Elizabeth likes to just dole out the money, make it rain. Then we're going to move into the bank itself. Once we kill everybody in the front lobby, normally we'd go to the right here and then go and find the tear and whatever. We'll do that in a second. Lady Comstock's ghost can have patience. We're going to go down this hallway instead, past the staircase on the left, past this spooky flickering light, and then keep following the hallway around and we'll find the room with like the bank manager, I guess, or a hoarder in here, and you'll find the cipher. So once you open the cipher safe, it'll be a secret panel on the door that'll open up, and then the box is inside.
Let's see. Type 3 letters to spell the voice.
3 letters.
VOX. Try the typewriter. I found a lockpick.
I know the prophet is a liar, but he cannot be. I know the prophet is a murderer, but he cannot be. For if the future lies only in the imagination of God, why would he reveal it to such a monster?
The next one you'll find is really straightforward. Once you find the tear in the bank, it appears at the base of it once you close it.
I don't think that's the real Lady Comstock.
The Archangel tells me that Columbia will only survive so long as my line sits the throne. Yet Lady Comstock produces no child. I have done what a man can do, yet there is no child. I've asked Lutece about the matter, but even she refuses to help.
Lutece says the bastard is a creation not of her womb, but of some unholy science. I do not know which is true. The child is no more divine than I. What says that from my husband's prophecy? He begs with my silence that I can only offer him forgiveness. But with repentance need come truth. I can suffer his lies no longer.
And lastly, the final tear that you'll find, or the final Vox that you'll find, is underneath a tear in Cunningham photos. Or it could be, in the bank or in Lutece Labs, whichever ones you went to first, second, and third. This is the last one for me, though, and it's the one that's in Cunningham photos after the tear closes, right on top of the table. So that'll do it for this video. For everything else on BioShck Infinite, keep it locked right here on IGN.
That's insanity. What proof would you have that Mr. Fink would hurt the Luteces?
The Luteces told me.
The Luteces? When?
Yesterday morning.
Rupert! They've been dead these 7 days.